Hey y'all, if you are currently evacuating Florida because of Hurricane Milton or anxious in any other part of the United States because of Hurricane Milton, I am giving y'all 10 minutes of comedic relief because bitch, don't we need it. The episode opens with the teacher telling the class that they finally have a winner for that week's writing competition. And Miss Phoebe had already moved her erect bang out the way because she believes that it's her, as usual. Because erect bang is crazy work. I am so sorry. Helga's like, girl, I already know it's gonna be your name, so stop being humble. Mind you, this is her best friend. Like, why you acting like this? Wrong, because Sheena and her curtain bust down beat Phoebe. And Helga is like, oh, bitch, you lost? What's going on? So they go to the next award, Citizens of the Month. You thinking Phoebe gotta be one of them. Nope, Gerald, Nadine, and Harold. And once again, Helga is ecstatic. This is no friend of hers. Now, Mr. Simmons announces that the next competition is a poetry competition, and whoever wins will get this statue of Emily Dickinson, which also looks like if Aunt Jemima was a sugar-free bottle. So, of course, Phoebe is like, oh, bitch, I'm winning that competition. Come hell or high water. When she gets home, she gets to drafting, and these drafts sound like trash. And even Helga's in the spirit, but she's also having a hard time putting together some words, which is ironic because the second she looks at a photo of Arnold, boom, the words just hit her. Because remember, this is the same child that said in an episode, Arnold, you make my girlhood tremble. Baby, I don't know what in the zane she got going on, but she winning that competition. Meanwhile, at Phoebe's house, brain so damn foggy she couldn't write a grocery list. So she picks up a poetry book for some inspiration. And this one I lean in. Because Phoebe is so determined to win this competition that my girl closes these curtains like she about to commit a crime and copies a poem from a real poetry book as her submission. What's so funny about this next shot is that you can feel the shame from the Mount Rushmore presidents as she plagiarizes this poem. But the tea is that, I'm sorry, I know y'all not talking about nobody stealing something. I know the Mount Rushmore presidents are not going to be shading Phoebe for stealing a poem when y'all stole much people, land, you know, don't get me started. Now, of course, the next day, Phoebe wins the trophy because, again, it's a professional poem. It's not hers. Almost immediately, Phoebe feels guilt, as she should. Meanwhile, sugar-free Aunt Jemima down there looking like, this bitch lying, Your Honor. But here's T. Guess who gets runner-up? Helga. Now, she submitted it anonymously, but as Mrs. Simmons is reading, she's like, oh my God, that's my poem. When she gets home, of course, her parents want to celebrate her, but she doesn't have an appetite anymore because she knows that she's a liar. So she skips dinner to go upstairs, and her dad is like, don't forget your award. And it's actually not that Phoebe forgot sugar-free Aunt Jemima. It's that the entire time she was trying to eat dinner, she was just staring at her like this. You couldn't credit a bitch, Phoebe? You had to steal? Is that what I got all those women's suffrage ass whoopings for you hoes to steal? I mean, I thought we were ladies. Are we stealing now? What's next? We start paying our own bills and building houses? You know, this generation is trash. Child, Phoebe goes upstairs and starts talking to this doll, telling her that she had to do it. She even tells the trophy, stop looking at me, it's rude to stare, and shoves the trophy in a drawer. And then she gets up and she gets in bed, right? But her mama come in there looking like Winifred Sanderson from Hocus Pocus and sees that the award is in the drawer, so she takes it out and puts it on the table. So now it's sitting right here in front of Phoebe when she wakes up. So when Phoebe wakes up, she is shook because the trophy is right there in front of her. And she is once again talking to this inanimate object, talking about how she saved her poem. Emily ain't hearing it. Back at the school, Phoebe is trying to tell Mr. Simmons that she stole the poem. But they are quickly interrupted by the principal, who comes in asking Mr. Simmons if he can send him a student to do a reading for some upcoming event. And of course, Mr. Simmons is like, well, Phoebe just wrote an award-winning poem. The principal is like, oh, I'm sure you did. And she's like, I can't write. He's like, please, we're proud of our multicultural students. By the way, where are you from? She's like, Kentucky, sir. He's like, well, we gonna make Kentucky proud. As an adult, that joke is 10 out of 10 because the writers are out of line for that. Kentucky, but also this is some of y'all principals and some of y'all parents as well. So she gets home from that. She's fencing in the basement with her dad. First of all, what did they do for a living? Because baby, that's an expensive ass sport. Anyway, she tells him, I hit you, you lost. He's like, you know what? You never lie, so I believe you. This sends her. She storms out and Winifred Sanderson comes over and is just like, what is wrong with our child? And he's like, I don't know. And this is when we realize that Phoebe has literally lost it. She is in this bathtub with all her clothes on looking like Prince. That night we get a rainstorm, and y'all know what this means. That Emily Dickinson award has come alive and is now reading Phoebe for filth with a pronounced list that took me out.
What for me? Well, if it isn't Little Miss Smarty Pants. You're an inanimate object.
Why did they make her stop? I'm pretty sure that's Jennifer Coolidge, and I hate her.
Cheater.
Wait.
Cheater.
Honey, Phoebe Phoebe takes that lisping award and throws it on the ground and breaks it. And she doesn't stop there. She buries it in the playground the next day. But of course a child comes and knocks it out of the sandlot that she buried it in, and who finds it other than Arnold's nosy ass? While Phoebe is out here getting a popsicle like she just committed some heinous crime and went to the bar to relax, she comes home to find sugar-free Aunt Jemima in the flesh because Arnold dropped her off. But Phoebe doesn't know that, so she thinks that all of this is magic. And Emily is dragging her ass for filth. She like, you really thought that you could steal a poem and get away with it, little girl? All that hard work we do, and you stealing? Tell on yourself, bitch. And this is when Phoebe folds because she realizes not only are you having a psychotic break because this award is not talking to you, but you was wrong as hell and you need to go turn yourself in. So she does. She goes and she tells Mr. Simmons. Her parents look so disappointed. And Mr. Simmons is talking to her the way that Tyra Banks was talking to that one girl where she was like, learn from this. My mother only yells at me like this because she cares about me. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. He literally tells her, how about you write a poem about being a sore fucking loser? And she's like, yes, sir. But remember, they still have to select a poem to read at this open house. Y'all, Phoebe gets on that stage and says, this was the best poem in our class by Anonymous. Y'all, you would have thought that Helga heard a cough in April of 2020. She was shook. She said, what? Excuse me? Because that's her poem. Her poem was the #2 poem in the class. And of course, everyone loved it because it was stellar. But poor Helga could not take it. So let this be a lesson on to you. If you're going to steal, plagiarize, colonize, appropriate, any of that, you're going to wake up with an Emily Dickinson doll in your face calling you a stupid bitch, and you deserve everything you get. For all my folks in Florida and people that are going to be affected by Hurricane Milton and other areas of the American South, please stay safe, y'all. I know that I'm throwing out 7 minutes of comedic relief, but please understand that I really am thinking about y'all, and I will do anything to make sure that I contribute to the best efforts to get y'all some help. See y'all later.